All right, we should be back up here. Hopefully for the last time. You can see me moving around to be right back. I accidentally clicked and dragged that instead of the chat, which again, you can tell how much of a difference there is. So getting into this again, I turned down the quality settings. I turned down the frame rate and stuff, and we're actually going to be picking this up from my save instead of a new game. We're going to be testing on this for a little bit. So as soon as I can tell if this is running, I'll go ahead and get into a new game. That way you guys aren't missing anything and I'm not having to restart constantly. Alright, it's still looking choppy. Not nearly as bad though. So I will be going back and reloading it. Let's go ahead back to options. We'll go to mode select. Yep. And that is, you know, when it gets really cool. So let's go ahead and load our save. No, new game, not load save. Normal. Here we go. And I do apologize so much for this because I have been using OBS and all sorts of stuff for a while this morning. I got back from recording my service and doing all that. So I'm going back to my own hardware. Alright, tell me what you guys see. Shouldn't be hitting my CPU or GPU nearly as hard. Alright. We're back on another toxic planet, really. So let's see if this works for us. Oh, so they've also added vehicles and bases to the game, which is probably some of the stuff that you've already seen if you're familiar with this game. That was one of their biggest, most recent updates before this Beyond, which gives you full multiplayer, not just the kind of cruddy stuff that they had added before. Let's go ahead and take care of this. We may not be getting a smooth 60 frames per second, but 30 frames per second is at least good enough. Let's go ahead and continue, since we already have this set up. And I'll kind of speed run this a little bit, because I know that we are going to be doing this for a while. Let's see, sodium. Here we go. Sodium-rich plants. And this should refuel our kind of hazard protection that you see there. It's fire, so we are on a hot planet. Let's go ahead and tab in here, and you can see with 35 sodium, we can completely recharge that. We have one left, so that's not optimal. Let's go in. All right, scanner's still recharging. There's nothing else around, but our ship will be around here somewhere. Aha, check that out. Signal source, that must be either our ship or a ship that is available. And we're gonna go ahead and mine on our way. Just a little bit. We can't scan stuff that we cannot even mine yet. Like these little guys, we can kind of just spray and pray a little bit. What about you? You carbon? Oh yeah. Carbon's gonna be nice. That's going to fuel our life support systems, and it's also going to be used for a lot of energy. I guess we're just kind of sliding. I love the slide animation. It's just kind of like, oh, whoa. Getting up that hill, though, was going to be a little bit tricky. So who do we got on? We still have Robar on. One or two more people, maybe? Key resources. What do they consider key resources in this game? Let me see. So I guess dihydrogen, which will be coming up on some crystals here as well. So it's the main component, key component in Starship launch fuel, which is what's going to get us off the ground. All right, let's turn this into a sprint here. because we want to try to avoid using up any more of our resources. It's actually not looking bad on stream. Again, it's probably only 30 FPS, but it'll do for today. Hopefully you guys are just happy with a little bit of content. And you know, even if you just put this on in the background to listen to the nice music, I'm cool with that too. Also worth noting is they completely overhauled the upgrades system, which I quite enjoy now, because you can get almost as like a randomly generated amount of upgrades, and when you buy them from vendors or find them from damaged machinery, you do get a huge variety of stuff, and if you're lucky, it'll really help you out early game. And even in mid to late game too, which I am still very much early game in my other playthrough, and I am only 6.5 hours in. Broadcast, I suppose. Traveler Anomaly. So we are the Anomaly. And right now we don't really have a race other than the Anomaly race in this, but there are different races in the game that you will see. We're going to search some of these containers over here. Not that one, because that requires an Atlas pass. Those big chunky guys. But we'll search these for sure. The damaged container. Some of the containers and machinery that you'll come across has some like damaged material in it that you'll have to clear away. So here's the damaged machinery. Sometimes you have to repair them, or sometimes like the junk. I usually just discard it. We don't need it this early on. Good on nanites. Hey, anybody listening right now, how is the audio? Let me know if the music's a little bit too loud. It's loud for me. Oh, buried technology module. That will come in handy, just not right now. I'm gonna turn my own volume down. Shouldn't affect anything for you. Alright, so we are gonna have to do a bunch of repairs for this. Atlas connection is intermittent. Oh, also they have something to customize the inside of your ship now, which I'm excited. Later on. We're getting there way later. It's probably going to take us about 6 hours worth of playthrough, which is not all happening today, but about 6 hours worth to get to the really cool part of this game. Maximize touch, or at least read log or connect exosuit. I'm going to connect the exosuit. Oh, it's unavailable. Pilot should perform maintenance. Select desired repair path. There's only one. So let's see what it actually has us do, because it's a little bit different each time. Okay, pulse engine, hermetic seals, and metal plating. The hermetic seals I don't think we can craft. The metal plating we absolutely can. So let's go ahead and get out of this, and it will give us a prompt. Oh, that's not actually a plant that we can do. So collect ferrite dust. Let's go in here and we can craft. Actually, let's do, instead of this, let's go into our exosuit so we have it available. And we'll craft one of those. Let's also open up the geodes. Looks like it just gives us ferrite dust, but it's nice to have. I'm gonna switch these around too. Okay. Hatch metal plating. We definitely want that. So let's go ahead into our starship inventory. There's that. So you can go ahead, and it's literally just a click. There's not any super advanced stuff that you're going to have to do. Just prompt us again. Let's see. Board the starship. Okay. It's probably going to tell us that we have to venture out somewhere and find it, but oh well. Functional, though. Requires the hermetic seal, but we can't synthesize those, so request assistance. Planetary chart from Distress Beacon Cache. Okay. It looks like if we go check out this Distress Beacon, we can get there. I guess we're going to take it, and it's probably going to give us a little bit more of a zoomed out map of this. Tab E to plot a route. Plot route. Actually, this is even different than whenever I had started. Maybe this is part of the new upgrade to streamline things a little bit better. You can see there's a ship flying through the sky. I don't know why it doesn't help me. Oh, okay. Well, that's a little bit far away. Is that back the way we came? No, I guess over here was the way we came in. That's an odd-looking plant or something. What are you? I don't know. I can't reach it from there. So we're going to head over to this facility. Yeah, I guess that's just it. Let's go ahead and hop back in and hop back out so we have the save point. So it saves whenever you get out of your vehicle. And we should be pointing in this direction. Another thing you'll notice is there's not only the hazard protection, but there's also kind of a life support that requires oxygen. Our mining beam is going to be charging up with carbon, so let's try to find a plant we can go ahead and attack for a little bit. These, ooh, that's a cool looking creature. Hopefully he doesn't maul me. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and skip down here for a little bit. How do we want to do this? It looks like we're going to have to do kind of a straight path unless we want to go up and around. That might be a little bit better. We also have a jetpack. It's best not to use it too much. This, yeah, should give us a surge in jetpack use. Alright, Firestorm is not the best thing we want right now. So we maybe try to avoid that. Alright, get some carbon out of these little plants. And we need to charge up our mining beam because we're only at 4% now. Let's go ahead around these things, or over, probably, is the best. Alright, let's see if we can charge up our multi-tool. We'll just use regular carbon. Because the condensed carbon is pretty valuable right now, and we may need it in a pinch. Great. Give me that boost. Get us up here, and out of the way. Alright. This storm is not fun. Also worth noting that we do have a stamina. It's that little run thing down in the bottom right. Come on. Unless we can get to a cave or something, we're going to be in the thick of this storm. And that looks like sodium. We're at 50%. It should at least get us up here. Actually, here's a... looks like some kind of cache. The health is great, but it doesn't really help us all that much. And that is a hazardous plant. Let's see if we can climb this a bit. It looks like there's also some kind of mineral up there. Yeah, we're going to be hurting here in just a sec. Let's go ahead and use the rest of that sodium to get us charged up. And that's all we have. It'll at least get us up here. This is going to be a steep climb. And I think up pretty straight faces like this. Yeah. We're going to have to wait for our jetpack to recharge. We're not falling down, though, which is good. Come on, maybe we can kind of crisscross this. Alright, looks like we're evening out. Another really cool aspect about this game is there is a little bit of survival, but there are ways to really thrive in it too. So this is not a base. This is just coordinates for, and let's actually get inside because it'll start recharging. Once we're in a building, yeah. Temperature levels, stabilizing, all that stuff. Okay, and now the storm clears. This is actually a log. No one making this record in case this is leaving behind in the fabricator might be of some use. Visor damaged, can't find ship. Let's take whatever they have. There's the hermetic seal. Would be nice if we could find a quick way back, but I don't think there is a quick way back. This might be able to give us a word. We learned the Vy'keen word for Vy'keen. Brilliant. We really, truly are brilliant. All right, let's see what this damaged machinery is going to hold. Get rid of the goop. Gonna load up. There we go. Launch fuel is something that is going to be very immediately useful. Is there a central structure, or is there some kind of waypoint that I'm missing here? A lot of these buildings will sometimes have almost like a waypoint that will not only save your game, but get you back in a pinch. All right, let's go ahead. Use analysis visor. We can't do that. Let's go ahead and construct one then. All right. Analysis visor. Ooh, carbon nanotubes. Yep, that's an issue. We can make them though. Let's go back to our multi-tool. I'm kind of bypassing some of the the walkthrough here. So this is how we can analyze some plants. So this mineral right here, instead of just getting the ferrite dust, which is the primary element that you see there, we're also going to get some phosphorus out there. There's our starship. It's a little bit far away. You can see there's some hazardous flora. Let's go ahead and scan these plants real quick, because we are going to get units by scanning the plants. Let's see. Let's get a few of these so that we're getting the secondary elements out of them. Looks like phosphorus is a big one for this. All right, you're just a big structure. Not really giving me anything. Salvage container? Nah, nothing. Are you something? No. All right, let's head back. Now that we have the visor going, let's go ahead and scan this, so we know to look out for it in the future. It's dark. It's real dark. I'm sure you guys see it on, or noticing it very much on stream. There's also a buried technology module, which we can't dig up right now. You will get something to do some terraforming, which is really fun. Be able to dig it up. Also, you see some effects on the edges of my vision. If you look at that waypoint up there, the kind of chroma split that you get there. It's going to be a little bit dark. Let's see if we can maybe navigate this with our visor on. Can't run with your visor though, so we'll have to split the difference. Your light only gets you so far. That is a cool shot. Look at that. The rings of a planet. That's awesome. Okay, let's see. What was your secondary element? Oh, not a great secondary element for these. Oxygen is a great secondary element for these. That is just carbon, which is cool. I'm cool with that. You are a plant. You don't look like a plant. Oxygen. That sounded like something big and scary. Maybe it was just that. Let's stay away. Oh, and that's just oxygen. Yeah, I'm mining the heck out of that. So you'll notice that while our environmental support, not the life support, but the one that's on top, the heat bar, while that does recharge whenever we go inside, the life support is constant. Alright, those are just ferrite dust, which essentially is iron. Probably extremely oxidized with how hot it is on this planet. It seems like at night the heat really doesn't go down much either. Alright. We're going to need to use our jetpack to get back up. Man, look at that. It's pretty. It's a nice view from this planet. And yes, there are planets with more plants, more animals, a better habitat. So I tend to find a planet where it's not going to have any of the thermal protection. It's not going to have radiation protection. It's just a normal planet, like Earth, kind of thing. Even though some of them look weird, as long as you don't have to constantly monitor that, and you can be out either building a base or in a vehicle or anything without needing to manage that, it's just so much nicer. And so you will see me build a base, hopefully, in the next half hour to an hour here. You stick around. Let's go ahead and hit these up. I think we just hit 25% with our life support. So once we get back into this, put the hermetic seal in, and then we'll go ahead and take care of recharging our life support. We can also rename our ship, which I think I'm going to do. All right, let's go ahead, come into the pulse engine. We have the hermetic seals. There we go. Launch thrusters, pure ferrite. This is another part of this game is you will need to refine some materials. Not too much though. So before we do anything, let's go into our exosuit and get our life support up. There's some oxygen. Is that a full charge? Crystal fragment. So what were you? I didn't even notice. So just like there's condensed carbon, you can also refine ferrite dust. So condensed carbon is the refined form of carbon. And then pure ferrite is the refined form of ferrite dust. We were dihydrogen down here as well. Let's go ahead into the launch thrusters. We did have that, but now we're gonna need pure ferrite. So we're gonna have to exit the ship, and you'll see that it's going to prompt us to build one of these refiners. So let's go ahead and access our inventory. We're gonna need to make, what did it say, metal plating. We also need oxygen, which kind of sucks because, oh no, actually it doesn't suck. Some oxygen right here. And I think these are the plants that grow back after a while. It's like a day or something. And then they grow back. So let's go ahead. We also have a build menu with Z. This portable refiner is going to be what we'll use to start off. Let's go ahead and into this. So for fuel, let's put some carbon in there. I don't think we can take out fuel though, which is the only thing that's a little bit frustrating. Ferrite dust. How much do we need? Did it say how much pure ferrite we needed? Starship. What did you need? 50 pure ferrite. Let's not make any more so that we have the extra ferrite dust. So over here you can kind of set this. Well, there's a way, the easier way to set this, but we'll just set this down to 50. Pass click. All right, begin. Also, the quest tracking is really, really nice. It works out pretty well. Exosuit, high capacity inventory. Also new, since the last time I played. Would be nice to get that back. Let's go ahead and pick this up. Well, maybe not yet. Let's go in and repair those launch thrusters. Tab. It's a bug. So is this going to... Okay, yeah. It's going to prompt us to pick that up. Oh, we did get our carbon back. That's nice. Let's see. Okay, that's unidentified. We're probably going to be leaving this planet, so let me just scan a couple of things while I still can. Looking good. Let's go ahead, return to the ship, and then we're going to take off. And you will really like this view. So it's W to move forward. It's mouse controls, at least on keyboard and mouse. I think, yeah, that'll get you going side to side. Shift gets you into kind of a faster speed, and holding down space for 5 seconds will get you into this pulse engine. And oh my goodness, and press down to get out of that, by the way. Space is pretty. Just have to say, like, look at that. That's where we just came from. There's that other planet around here too. Oh, there we go. Unknown planet. Press C to scan. Let's go ahead and send out a scan. Unmapped. So we're the first one to discover this, and we have a transmission. Source, please identify yourself. I think we should identify ourselves. Comms override 16161616. You're not alone. Follow the broadcast ends as strangely as it began. The final piece of the signal appears to be a set of planetary coordinates. I say we input them. And it looks like it's right there. We can also do some mining in space. We have kind of these weapons. It doubles as a mining laser and a fighting laser. You can obviously get different weapons as you go on, because just this little tiny pea shooter is probably not what we're going to want for a lot of the rest of the game. But for now, it's going to work out just fine. We'll go ahead and mine some of these so we're getting some resources. Oh, gold nugget acquired. Tritium hypercluster. Oh, we had 2 of those. Let's go back. Analyze those. Gold nuggets should just give us gold. Silver, platinum, and gold are going to be materials that you find in space more often than not. They are very valuable asteroid materials, as you can see there. And then tritium, which is going to refuel our pulse engine. I'm just going to refuel that right now. The launch thrusters, I think we get 4 charges out of those. If you remember in our, we got this from one of the looting things that we had done. We need 1 metal plating. Is that really all it takes? But anyway, it's much more efficient to use the Starship launch fuel rather than, if we look back here, you can also charge it up with uranium, which you can find uranium on some planets, but it seems to be better. So in about an hour, we'll arrive. Yep. There are actual, like, real distances in this game. I'm going to go ahead and press shift, though. It's going to speed us up, so we'll be there in, you know, closer to 14, 15 minutes. Or we can just turn back our pulse engine, turn our pulse engine back on, and that's going to get us there a heck of a lot faster. So we are far away from this planet, and it's going to take us a long time to get there, even with the pulse engine active. And you can kind of see life incompatible planet. I think that's so funny. So we are not going to find any plants, any animals, presumably, with the whole life incompatible thing. But this should, as long as we're targeted onto that source, it should take us around. We're going to be entering the... Oh, it's taking us past that planet. This is a moon that we're arriving on. Interesting. I have been to a planet where it's actually just a bunch of machines, which is really creepy. I know you guys are seeing a ton of choppiness and stuff. Okay, maybe not a great time to get some water. Let's go ahead and spin around here. And then we're gonna initiate our landing. Oh my gosh, that is a huge slab of something. This looks like a desert. Let me hop out here. What are you? Unidentified. It's hazardous flora. Is it gonna come out and like grab me? Can I collect something from it? Oh, nope. Nope, 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 nope. We're just gonna mine you up real nice. Look, we got cacti in the back. Westralium. I don't know how you pronounce that. We need somebody, a botanist. That's what we need. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. Broken technology. Now let's decipher the signal. This may actually give us a little bit of a puzzle here. Oh, stations. So, base computer and a terrain manipulator. The base computer is going to be really cool. That's how you build bases, of course. And a terrain manipulator is going to be even nicer. We're going to need the terrain manipulator first to make chromatic metal, which you'll see in just a second here. Carbon nanotubes and dihydrogen jelly. So, let's go ahead and loot some of this stuff, because we might actually be able to get dihydrogen jelly out of it. What about this? Oh, just a bunch of sodium. A microprocessor, which will be very nice. So these are going to be the sector charts. And you'll see how you see the Ligorni floodplain. We'll go ahead and scan some of these plants to get us a little bit more of credits, and also more of an indication. Okay, cactus flesh. That's just carbon. What are you? You're just carbon. These should be some minerals. So yeah, Robar's analysis of Minecraft just in space is pretty accurate. It's not nearly as blocky But you do get to build bases. There is a progressive upgrade system. Let's go ahead and scan these. And we can scan some of these animals as well. So you'll see the ones red that are moving around are the ones that are unscanned, and you can kind of see them behind stuff as well. Interesting. Let's go ahead into our exosuit. Cactus flesh. Hydroponics tray. So this is whenever we do get our base up and running, we can actually do some farming as well, which actually might be really cool. I don't know if you'll see any of that today, but let's go ahead, terrain manipulator in the log. So this is going to be the log that we have, and we'll go ahead and select that. Continue. So we're going to need to install this. Dihydrogen jelly, and then carbon nanotubes. So we actually have enough dihydrogen to do that, and the carbon nanotubes. Oh, we need 2 carbon nanotubes. So let's go ahead back into this. It should be craft another, right? Craft more. Cannot build missing components. Looks like we need some carbon. It's a good thing we have all these cacti around. Oh wait, that was unidentified. Let's go ahead and back into that. Also, hopefully I'm not missing any chats. I had refreshed this not too long ago. Let's see if there are any chats that I had missed. Music a bit too loud. It's Jupiter. Fights in space? Yes, sorry. I'm just now seeing all of your things. I needed to refresh. Music too loud? I can fix that just by changing this. I figure it's easier. I know you just kind of saw the behind the scenes a little bit. I just cranked it down a little bit, and it does get loud at parts, and even the overall volume is touchy. So yes, fights in space are huge. You can have essentially your own armies to fight for you, or navies, space navies. But you can have whole fleets of ships. And now that multiplayer is really up and running, I'm sure you can do some cool stuff with it. I have not gotten to the point where I can do that yet, nor do I have the people to play with. So if this is a game that you have and you abandoned it long ago and you'd like to get back into it, I highly encourage you to reach out to me. I would love to play with you guys. Let's see here. All right. Should be good. Go ahead and send a message in chat just to make sure that I can see it on my phone. Until I get a second monitor up, which I have a bunch of monitors now. Until I get a second monitor up, or just doing a couple of things. So let's go ahead and see if we can make more nanotubes, craft more. There we go. So we should be able to go back in here. It'll ask me for that, and the dihydrogen jelly, and we're done. Sweet. Now the scanner should also show me some stuff nearby. Berry technology module. There's a knowledge stone at the crest of that hill, which would be nice to have. Pyrite deposit, silver, copper. That's a little far. There's a copper one that's still a little far. Debris. Ooh, interesting. Silver and silver. So it looks like we're going to be going over this way. I'm going to hop back in here. I think it said it was over this way. Looks like there's something here. What is that? Actually, let's go ahead and come over here. There's an unknown building, but there is a landing site. So let's go ahead and land here. We may actually be able to trade stuff. It was loud when I wrote that message, but now it's okay. I have no N-Scan. I'll probably not get. Oh, I don't have. Kind of not my cup of tea. Yeah, it's definitely not for everybody. I like it because you can sink a lot of time into it if you want, but it takes a while to get to where it's really fun. And I think it's a game that's also better multiplayer. Now it's better multiplayer. Still fun on your own, though. Definitely a game that I've sunk, as you saw, 6.5 hours into, and that was just whenever I had started it back up, because there was a big update a couple of months ago. So end of April and then beginning of May, I had opened it up. Reinforced door. We have a bunch of not fun stuff around. So let me go ahead and open this up. Copper deposit should be right over here. Switch Alt. Create, flatten, restore, and we want mine. So looks like it's right in here. Could be wrong. Silicate powder is what you get from mining, and you use silicate powder to build stuff back up. Looks like we're not hitting any copper. So maybe that copper deposit was a dud. Let's see. Pyrite, silver. Where are you? No, not that. Oh, that's that. Okay, kind of a bummer. Knowledge stone, we're far from now. Any other deposits? Copper deposit. Should be right over the hill. Let's go ahead and scan these guys in, make sure they're not hostile. They don't look it. Let's go ahead and hop over this hill real quick. Alright, not hostile. Good to know. Usually there'd be a little indicator. Let's see. Subterranean relic. Interesting. Silver deposit. Copper. Okay, not just right over the hill, but close enough that I'm comfortable heading over this way. Also worth noting, this planet is entirely, it's a moon, entirely habitable. We shouldn't get any issues with it. I also didn't look over here. There might be closer deposits. Silver, copper, really far. Sentinels. That will be a pain in my butt. Let's see. We should also be looking out for some buried technology modules. But I think we're just going to be heading over towards that copper deposit. Should be on the hill across the way from us. Well, that's the thing. I had put a lot more time into this before, and 6 hours is just the amount of time that I had put into that one save that you guys could see whenever I loaded up the game. I've probably put around 30 to 40 hours into the game. It's just, you have to play it. Oh, condensed carbon. We definitely want that. And G is to switch. You definitely have to put in like an hour at a time to really make it worthwhile. Here we go. This should be plenty of copper for us, even though it's a small deposit. And yes, this is a small deposit. It should have been enough copper for us. Is it not? I'm gonna be kind of pissed if it's not. It was only 29 copper. Well, okay, guess it's not. There. That last little bit. 30 copper. I guess that's what you get out of a small deposit. Let's see, anything else close? Silver. Silver. Pyrite. Damaged machinery. Unknown building. Let's go ahead and tag that unknown building, and then let's head back to our ship. We'll fly over there and see if there are any other copper deposits close up, at least. Are these things that I can... Oh, these are harvestable for cactus flesh. Oh, they really shrink down. That's something I haven't seen before. What are these? Unidentified. They've got some kind of flower on them, which I'm wondering... No. Just carbon. Which we're going to need for our mining beam. So I'll go ahead and collect some now. What is that? Unidentified mineral. Probably not something that I can mine right now. Yep, advanced mining laser. Go figure. Let's see, what are you? Aloe flesh? Is this harvestable? I guess so. What does it do? Consume. Process in a nutrient processor to generate edible products. I can consume one now, though. What does that do? Life support recharged? I wonder if I can just consume those and have it recharge my suit. Oh, you are new. I don't know what you are, but you look kind of weird. Shy. Okay. As long as it is not aggressive. Aggressive is bad. let's see. We can hop back in the ship here. I'm going to hop back out just to save our place in case I want to restore anything. So what did I say? It was over this way. I should have it still tagged. Yeah, there it is. Flight controls are still a little bit wonky. And it's not really much of a building. But I'll go ahead and land. And I think we're out of free launches. That's advanced, yep. We'll at least chart this sector so that we have it saved, we can come back to it, and we'll get a little bit more data on the planet. I definitely play this of more of a scientist's approach, where I like scanning a lot of things. Unidentified plant. It's a good way to get a lot of cheap, quick credits. Okay. Why is it saying that there's something buried here? Oh, it's just the loot. It's around. Okay. Copper deposits. Deposits are the ones that are cube-looking things. That's a far one. That's far. Anything close. Not looking like it. That one is not bad, that copper deposit. Very technology module. Oh, there's one right up the hill, actually. We'll go ahead and eliminate that. But these technology modules could give us a lot of good stuff. Salvage data. I see. That's what it gives us. I always forget what it gives us. And let's go ahead and scan in this little guy down here. These are oxygen. Probably should do more scanning. Oh boy, where was that deposit? So that's silver. That's the copper one. That's far. Was there another copper one that was closer? I could have sworn there was another one that was closer. Also, some unscanned creatures. You. Oh my gosh, your heads are so small compared to your bodies. It looks ridiculous. Okay. Copper deposit. Looks like we're heading over this way. Over the hill, too. Nothing's standing out to me. There's some kind of mineral there that I hadn't scanned. Nothing's really standing out to me on this planet. So I don't think this is going to be a permanent base for me. Oh, sodium. Definitely, let's grab that. Let's do another scan as well. If that's the copper deposit, no, that's the pyrite deposit. The copper deposit's far. We probably should pick up some pyrite, though, too. I have no idea what it will be used for. It's kind of like gold, but not gold. Fool's gold. Isn't that pyrite? It looks like gold. So let's see what the whole pyrite thing gets us. Used for building, crafting, charging, and upgrading. Interesting. We are getting full, so let's go ahead. Once our life support gets low, we'll get rid of that. I'll also get rid of this sulfurine because we don't really need it right now. Projectile ammo, we don't really need right now either. Some of this stuff can be put back. Let's go ahead and consume some of these to recharge our life support. I'm cool with that. That looks good. Cargo. Salvage data. Can we move that back to general? If anything, I'd like to have carbon in the cargo slot. Starship, we're too far away from. Multi-tool? I suppose we could install the bolt caster. Alright, still heading over this way? Yep, copper deposit. Can't you use your ship to cover large distances on the planet? Yes, you can. But, it does cost fuel each time you take off. Not each time you land, but each time you take off. It does use up some fuel. So that's why I'm a little apprehensive to keep traversing around. Also, you can see more on foot. You can figure out where you're going a little bit more easily on foot too. The overhead view is nice whenever you're in the ship. But since we're not needing to cover large distances, I'm just going to be walking for now. It will benefit us. Okay, so there's the copper deposit. This is a little bit larger than the last one. Let's go ahead and switch to terrain manipulator. And copper is definitely a limited resource in this game. It's not going to be as widely available as the pyrite dust and stuff that you'll see, or the silicate powder, which you just get from quite literally mining out the ground. And yes, we will want all of this. This is not like Minecraft where you can kind of just go anywhere and mine and find resources. And this is definitely one where you have to pick planets that are abundant in some natural resource, kind of post up there for a little bit, mine what you can, and then move on. If that's what you're doing. Obviously, there's going to be a point where you're going to want to settle down, have a family, raise some ugly monster babies. Alright, that should be all of it. All that we'll reasonably get out of it, unfortunately. So, heading back to there, we are going to want to pull out our refiner, which we have in our inventory. We'll pull that out, go ahead and refine the chromatic metal, and then we'll travel around and figure out a place where we want our base to be. Because we will want a base on this planet. We'll definitely want a base on this planet. Because we're not having to do any temperature protection, any thermals, yeah. What are these? Just little guys, huh? It's weird because you'll have some minerals that look very similar, but they are actually different. Okay, so that was just all it was. I'm trying to see if there's anything that I haven't scanned in yet, but it looks like we're good here. Let's go ahead and make sure we're doing scans. That's the whole pyrite deposit. I have not ever seen pyrite needing to be used. Let's go ahead and switch over to our mining beam and get some of these dihydrogen crystals. You'll see every once in a while we'll get those kind of special drops, or the crystal fragments. Our starship really is not that far. Can you actually like run around the planet, or if you run or fly in one direction, you'll hit edge of map? No, it's a complete planet. It's fully generated. You can fly around the planet. You're not going to hit any edges of maps. It's basically a universe that's been procedurally generated, which is one of the coolest things to me about this. I wish you could, though, find systems or whatever that are more habitable. That would kind of be nice. So we'll see here, and we'll get this put down. So we need to make 30 chromatic metal. So we're going to go ahead and put down... no, not carbon for the input. Carbon for the fuel supply. No, take the carbon out of there. Stop. That's the one thing I don't particularly like. High capacity inventory. We want copper. For the fuel, we want carbon. And let's go ahead. We'll process probably 80 of it. That way we have the 30 that's going into this, and then we have 50 more that we can use after the fact. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that while that's cooking up. Let's go into our exosuit. Looks like we have a good bit of room. Let's go ahead and move that up by our life support. Let's go ahead and analyze that. We're actually doing pretty good on space so far. Let's go ahead and move that to our exosuit, and then we'll be able to... We're not going to do it here. We will build a computer, but let's find a... Okay, not enough fuel and launch thruster. It's a good thing we're doing this now. Let's find something that's not just a little divot. Maybe we travel a little bit. Be cool to find some kind of oasis. Not much of an oasis there. Just need to be, yep, careful of flying too close to the ground. Unknown building. No, just another sector chart. So yeah, we're gonna fly around and see what we can find. I'm gonna fly up a little bit because the higher you are off the planet, actually, the faster you will go. The faster you can go. Somewhere around here would be nice, right? If we can find a deposit in the area. It'd be nice to have a nice flat terrain to build on. No. That's not where we wanted to land. We're landing here. Let's go ahead and get out. How about flattening an area around here? Because really this isn't bad. It's not great, but it isn't bad. Let's go ahead and flatten, maybe. See how we can flatten this? Let's try to do that for a little bit. Restore. Oh, so this was all stuff that I had changed. I definitely don't want to do any more of that. Okay, so this is nice and flat. So we'll go ahead and put down a base computer. We'll put it down just right here. Fancy. Let's go ahead and take a look. We'll go ahead and claim this base. There seems to be enough around it that would substantiate living here for a while. I just don't know how long we're going to be staying in the system. Or maybe it's something where we just kind of leave it in a base that we can teleport back to once we get our teleporters. And yes, there are teleporters in the game. It's quite logical that when that high you can go faster even with better fuel efficiency. Yeah. So you're allowed to push it a little bit more. When you're just flying around a planet, there's no fuel efficiency stuff that you have to worry about. It's just whenever you start getting the pulse engine involved and the launch thrusters. Go ahead and extract these plans. So we learned wood walls and a bunch of other things. Roofs, that's kind of nice. Lights as well. So let's go ahead in the building menu here. So we were on tech, portable, that's how we got to that. But now we're going to go to the wooden structures here. And yes, there are prefab structures, prefabbed as in just a room that you build. But for now, we're going to start off by doing something like this. And since we have enough carbon, let's go ahead and build this out a little bit. That looks nice. And then... Alright, so since we got a storm going, let's make sure we can get these inside. The walls don't matter, it's the roof that matters. You'll see that here in just a second. Oh, we're missing components. Well, let's do a roof instead. Roof there. Alright, we're low on carbon, so let's go ahead and get out of that and go ahead and mine some carbon. And then once we have enough, we'll go ahead back in and take care of some stuff. That looks good for now, especially because the storm is starting. Looking a little bit nasty, but these roofs will add to the thermal protection. I guess we have to have more roofs. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see it once we're way under this and away from the outside. It doesn't really make sense because the heat's still going to come through. Let's go ahead into this. Let's do more roofs. There's that. We can also get out of this mode and go into more of a building mode. It just lets you build a little bit more easily. Let's go ahead into a wall There we go. And then C gets you right back inside. So it's dark in here, definitely. We're gonna have to come back out to the base computer. We should be able to build a kind of a research station. Extract plans. Yes, construction research unit. So this is only some basic stuff. Magnetized ferrite. Okay. So let's go ahead and build one of these portable refiners. Well, we're just going to put down the one that we already had. Yeah, portable refiner. We already have one. So let's go ahead and just throw that down right there. And then, so we want ferrite dust first in there. This is 1-to-1. How much magnetized ferrite? Let's get out of that. Go back into the building. You need 20 magnetized ferrite. So let's start off by building 40 of these. Fuel would be nice to have as well. Yeah. Let's do 40 because I think it's a 1-to-1 ferrite to pure ferrite. But it's 2-to-1 pure ferrite to magnetized ferrite. We'll see. Darken your house. Creepers will spawn there. Honestly, that was my first reaction. It was like, oh no, monsters are going to spawn. Then I'm like, wait, the spawning mechanics aren't there in this game. So let's go ahead and transfer those over. Now we want to put the pure ferrite in, which is 2-to-1 magnetized ferrite. But yeah, pretty quick. Not bad at all. And then, oh, carbon nanotubes, which we're going to have to go build. We need more carbon. Wait, we need more carbon. I put all of it in that refiner. The storm is cleared, so let's come out here and grab some more carbon. These are unidentified. These are also just carbon. So when they only have one element, I presume that we get more of that element out of it. Let me get something to drink. Alright, let's see if there's anything else around. Anything close. Ancient data structure. These are underground. Subterranean relics. Subterranean relics. Let's go ahead and mine these out. See what's down here. We're getting close. Closer. Yes? No? Destination reached. Oh? It's a cave. Ooh. Vortex cubes. Tetracobalt. That's cool. I actually haven't seen those before. Anything else down here? Ancient data structure, subterranean relic. Let's see. There's more. And I would presume that there's something. Yep. That's toxic. Okay. That's a little bit far away. Buried technology modules, too far away. Let's go back up. We can find the way that we came in. Hello. Like it hadn't loaded in completely. Let's see. How did we get in? I can't quite tell. Oh. Here. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Our wonky little tunnel here. I'm wondering actually if we'll have underground fauna. It's interesting. I haven't really thought about it much. Let's go ahead back over here. We have some stuff to craft. This tetracobalt. Oh, it's just expensive. And the vortex cubes are a trading commodity. Yeah, wait. Let's transfer some of this stuff over. Like that. Let's do a quick transfer to Starship. What is in our cargo? Okay, I know we need one of those, so we'll just transfer it over. Microprocessor, let's go ahead and transfer that to the starship. Navigation data, we'll keep on us because we might need that. Pyrite, starship. Silicate powder, we'll keep that on us as well. Let's go ahead and build this. Let's just put this right next to that. Presumably you don't need any power. Yeah, here we go. Research buildable technology. Ah, yes, I remember this. So we need this to teleport either between... I didn't know you could dig like that. Can you dig to the other side of the planet? I don't know. I've never tried. I would think that you'd hit some kind of bedrock or something, because there's a height building limit. I would guess that there's a lower limit as well, because at some point you'd be in zero gravity. I have no idea. Or you'd hit the planet's core. Probably not. I'm thinking probably not, but it would be really cool. Your base can be renamed. Any ideas for a base name? And then we also want to, not portable, but general. Let's do one of these. So metal plating, we need 4. Carbon nanotubes, we need 2. Let's go out. So I think we can rename. Yeah, here we go. Let's just do Research Station 1. I have my caps lock on. Research Outpost. There we go. We'll go ahead and leave. I renamed it. Yeah, it's definitely going to want us to do that next. Also, our mining beam is low. We're definitely going to want more carbon. What is that? That's the ancient data structure? Let's go check it out. This may be something that we can't interact with right now. It's navigation data. It's just it's his alien relic. I can't scan it. And I'll take the navigation data. We're definitely going to want that in the future because there will be a structure that we can build, just a little guy, that will show us other things on the planet that we can visit. This is also unidentified, so let's do that. Didn't know you can... What was the text? Let's see. It's also approaching 4 o'clock, so I'll probably be wrapping this up sometime soon. And I figured we wouldn't have a ton of people watching, but it's nice that we did have 3 or 4. And then, of course, tomorrow, like I said, I'll be posting a Gemcraft video. That'll hopefully be up to speed for a lot more people. Okay, let's go in. Let's try crafting some stuff. I know we need carbon nanotubes. I know we need metal plating. Oh, we just need more ferrite. Okay, so that's going to be the next challenge here. Is finding enough of these little suckers, because these go so fast. We only get 11 out of these. Nah. We need something that has a little bit more substance to it. Like this big boy up here. We're also getting pyrite with it. Not that we need the pyrite, but it's nice to have it. And we'll most likely sell. Oh, it gets cold at night. Ah, so there is a little bit of thermal stuff that we need to worry about. Just like a desert. And this is interesting. Damaged container. What do you hold? Be nice if it was quite literally just ferrite dust. Ah, weapon charge depleted. Let's go ahead into our multi-tool and recharge this. I will use our condensed carbon for it. And then this, I'm just going to add the silicate powder. You can use ferrite dust, but it's much better to use the silicate powder that you get from mining. That was unidentified. Probably shouldn't have done that. It seems like there's a lot of carbon in this area, but not as much ferrite. Maybe not a great location. Are those plants? No. Can we mine this from all the way over here? Yeah, we can. Those are those little creatures that have the tiny heads. Tiny ass heads. Carbon crystals. Condensed carbon. These big guys, though, I probably can't mine. Advanced mining. Laser required. We'll get as much as we can, and then we'll head back. That ferrite dust probably isn't going to last us very far at all. Our life support systems are pretty low down. Let's go ahead and just charge it up with one of these oxygen canisters. Do another one of those. We have enough for another. We have enough for another. And then we need, what, one more carbon nanotubes. And we can do that as well. We have enough sodium, and we can just build. So let's do that. This has to be hooked up to power. So we have to keep that in mind while we are doing this. Let's go ahead and just put that right there. Yeah, left control to access wiring. Supply power. It's like powering the base. Let's do that. Biofuel reactor. Okay. Well. Buildable technology. So we need more of these salvaged data. We don't have one. And I would assume that means we need to find the buried modules. Are there any nearby? It's an unknown building, but there are sentinels over there, so let's try to avoid that. The knowledge stone, or a few knowledge stones. What about technology? There's more of those subterranean relics. There's a buried technology module. Let's go up and grab that. We'll go ahead and get the base powered, and I think that's all we'll do for today. Alright, still further on. More water. Still going. Should be right around here somewhere. Ah, that was easy. Okay, what are you gonna give me? How many? 2? Just the 1. Wait, but it says I have 2. Oh, yeah, I got 2. Okay, that's what I thought. I wonder if during the day it gets hot enough to where there are heat storms, and it's gonna push my thermals the other way. Because at night, if it's only cold for what amounts to 15 minutes in real life, it's not bad. Let's go ahead and back in. And okay, buildable technology. That's right. I was like, wait, we need to build it, but we don't have plans for it yet. Can you build a teleport system kind of like Stargates from the Stargate series? Yes, you can. It requires, if you want to teleport from your base to somewhere, the one that you are teleporting from has to be powered. But if I am, say, teleporting from a space station, which you'll see those eventually, the gates don't have to be powered, which is really nice. All right, we just need metal plating and then oxygen. So we can go ahead and make that now. Electrical wiring, we need that, but it's free. Return. What other one thing? The signal booster is very useful, and I will definitely put some points into that right now. And that's all we can do. So let's go ahead and get up. Oh wait, we need to go into tab first. Metal plating. Let's go ahead and open up our tech power biofuel reactor. Now the one thing that I don't like is that you see the wiring, but all in all, let's go ahead and open this up. I think it should just be as easy as... See, I don't want to charge... It's like what you put in there is what you put in. which really sucks. Let's see. How do I... Quick split, C. Okay, that just halves it. Can I put that in here and do half and half? No. What is use can charge? And I think I can turn it on and off, but there, it's powered. I kind of want to just turn this off. Can I take this out? No. There's no way to turn it off. Which is what I don't like. Unless we collect it. Explore the planet and expand your base. So we'll go ahead out. Maybe it wants me to go back to this base module. Yep. That's what it is. Additional archives recovered. Space station. Seems like that's where we're going to be picking up next time. We'll go ahead and leave. So, we're going to have to go back out into space, but that'll have to be for the next stream that I do this on, or the next whatever that you see of this game. Hopefully some people liked this. If you did, make sure to leave a like, make sure to leave a comment, and if this is something you want to see more of, and again, the game gets better from here. There's the space station, by the way. The game does get better from here, so don't be put off by the fact that it's a lot of farming and grinding right now. Again, I would love to play with viewers. Multiplayer is really fun. There are a ton of new things in this game. We have vehicles, we have huge base building stuff. There's music now, there's wiring and sequencing, so we can control lights and stuff like that. Essentially a redstone system, but for this game, and much, much more in depth. I already scanned those? I don't even remember scanning those things. When did I find that? Today, I guess. I don't even remember. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Definitely let me know. Gemcraft coming tomorrow. And I was looking into, gosh, what was it? Abduction? Looks like a fun game. Looks like it has a good storyline, and I think I can get it on either Steam or Epic Games. There's another one. Oh, XCOM. I've seen it played before. I've never played it myself. Actually, no, I played XCOM 1. I played the original XCOM 1. I watched a ton of gameplay of XCOM 2, and I think there's a new one out right now that I saw Northern Lion NL play a little bit on YouTube. Definitely something that I would get into if there's interest. So, I'll be signing off. I'll see you guys tomorrow in a new Gemcraft episode. Peace. You're going to see my desktop for just a sec. Hopefully I can switch to it quick enough. Blackout in chat. There we go. See you guys later. Bye.